Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and limited, never duplicated Mr. Main Event himself. And given that it's that time of year, folks, the only man out there on YouTube that can make a leopard printed Santa hat look sexy as a fuck, Tim Vicious, and we're going to go over Survivor Series was in Chicago, Illinois, and well, before we get into the show itself, we do need to address the big elephant in the room. Yes, the Pepsi Man himself, CM Punk, has returned. He showed up at Survivor Series, which we'll talk about. And then he came out on Monday night, and I'm going to address the Monday Night Raw part first and foremost, right at the top of the show, right here, right now. He came out, he cut a promo, and basically he said, point blank, I'm back. I'm home, which, full disclosure, I busted out laughing on because he spent the better part of, from the time he walked out, because yes, no ifs, ands, or buts, and he even said, he walked out, he quit. From the time he left and he got on Cabana's podcast and lit and tore the company to shreds into a million pieces, till he was fired from AEW. Any chance he had to go and throw a shot at WWE, he did. And listen, I get it. We've all been in that spot where we've all worked in a job we did not like. We've all worked in a job that really, really screwed with our heads at some point or another in our lives. I get that. But to put it in perspective, let's just say, you worked in that company. You were there. It destroyed you. It hurt you physically, mentally, emotionally, every which way you could imagine. The second you get a chance to get out, you get out. You get out, and oh my God, once you get out, everything is so much better. The air smells sweeter. The air is crisper. The food tastes better. Life feels good. And then you wind up getting employment at a new company in the same profession, but an entirely different company. And while you're there, you're feeling good. Now, things happen, whether it's your fault, theirs, whatever, are debatable and not the point of topic. You're there, you're in company B now. You're in that company's competition. And while you're there, again, you're throwing pot shot after pot shot after pot shot at the company that destroyed you. Physically, emotionally, and mentally and such. Then you wind up getting fired from that company. You wind up getting fired from company B. So, whether it's you reached out to your former employer or they reached out to you, it doesn't matter, one way or another. Doesn't matter who reached out to who first, but in some way, shape, or form, talks were made, and now you're working there again. So you expect everything to just... the company may say, hey, it's all water under the bridge. But to the people that you wound up throwing all of those stones to the people that wound up seeing it transpire, you expect all of that to just, those people to just be like, oh, no, it's all good, it's all water under the bridge. We're cool. Like, wait, what? Because I'm sorry, but that's just not me. That's just not me, and that's not my work ethic. Like, I've had some really crappy jobs in my day where it killed me physically, mentally, emotionally, and such. And I had to get out. I did. And while the urge and the temptation to go and blast them, either online, through social media, or to just go to friends and be like, man, this place was such a fucking hellhole, this, that, and the other. I didn't. Because a simple sense of professionalism. That's all I'm thinking. Like, either way, it's too early to tell if CM Punk being back in WWE is going to be good or bad. I will say this, though. I think bringing CM Punk back at Survivor Series in Chicago was a bad idea. And I don't like the armchair quarterback. I don't. But if I was handling when I was going to have him debut, make him an entry in the Royal Rumble. Put him under contract. You know, put him under contract from that time in Chicago, but have him get reps, have him hit the company, hit the gyms, the weights, all this, that, and the other. Get everything building and going, you know? And then if you have him be a surprise entry, just so that way you can get that, oh my God factor. Get that big, oh my God, surprise pop. Because I guarantee you're going to get more, well, I can't guarantee, but I will say this. You would have more shock and awe and more of a longer lasting, holy shit reaction in a surprise crowd in Florida if you would have brought him in several days, if not a week sooner, under an alias like Tom Smith or whatever, or even fly him in on the company jet, and then just book him in a different hotel away from everyone else, and then just doing those sort of simple things, instead of just bringing him in Chicago where, hey, it's his hometown pop. He's obviously going to get a big ooh-ah reaction there. I'm just saying, that's me. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it in Chicago is what I'm saying. But yeah. That aside, Survivor Series, I dug it. It was a damn good show. So, with that said, let's get into it. Let's start out with the Women's War Games. It started out with Bianca Belair, Bianca's team, Bianca, Shotzi, Charlotte, and Becky going against Damage Control, Bayley, Asuka, Io, and Kairi Sane. Becky and Bayley started off with it. Really good action with each other. Dakota Kai wound up getting ringside, wound up sneaking some Singapore canes. Excuse me. Sneaking a Singapore cane through the chain link. Shotzi was in next. I should note that the Bianca's team did get the advantage, and that was done through a Ruffles cross-promotion thing, which I'm absolutely cool with. I dig it because, and listen, again, I know next to nothing when it comes to marketing and ad campaigns and business stuff and all. I would love to sit under a learning tree and learn and figure and know and pick someone's brain on it. But I'm smart enough to know cable industry is nowhere near what it was 10 or even 5 years ago. And getting promised X amount of time for commercials now is nowhere near as beneficial as it was 5 or 10 years ago. Whereas if like some random company came up to me and said, hey Tim, we'll pay you X amount of dollars if you wear a shirt that has our logo on it. Well, okay, because I guarantee you'll get more views from that as opposed to having a commercial with some Joe Schmo wearing a shirt that pops up on here. That's what I'm getting at. I'm cool with the cross promotion like that because not only that, it also shows that wrestling in and of itself, not just WWE, because, you know, hey, AEW has a deal going with DraftKings. Apparently, NWA has a deal with whatever company makes gimmick cocaine. And fuck, it's just, it helps the business in and of itself on a whole. So if it's good for the business, not a promotion, not just one company, not just one wrestler, but the business, I'm all for it. So, back to the match. Shotzi came in next, started going all sorts of ballistic. So, instead of trying to dissect the War Game match part by part by part, it was Shotzi in next. And then after Shotzi came in, then it was Io, and then Bianca. And Bianca, I will say this, it was kind of cool seeing Bianca with the braided pigtails instead of just one long braid, because she was doing whack, whack, whack like that. I thought that was cool. It was different, and I'm all for different. So, Bianca came in and started whipping Io and Bayley. Then Kairi came in, and Kairi brought in a whole lot of hardware. And then Charlotte came in, and then Charlotte was the last in. Charlotte wound up being the last in for her team. Io wound up being the last in for her team. Of course, Io did what she always does with the War Games matches. She did, much like Kofi Kingston with the Royal Rumble with the Kofi spot, Io had her little spot in the War Games where on top of the cage with the trash can on, doing a dive off of it. Really good, solid match. I absolutely loved it. It was a great way to start the show. It was a great way to start the show, and all the women got a chance to shine. Match came to an end when everyone beat up Bayley, and then, then Becky, boom, popped her with a manhandle slam onto the table. 1, 2, 3. And at one point during the match, Bayley and Charlotte, they wound up locking horns, looking at each other. Looking like they were getting ready to go. And they hugged it out. It's all done. The feud's over. The feud's over, folks. Like we said earlier, water under the bridge. So that said, now that that's done, the next match was The Miz going against Gunther for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. And good God almighty, this had good action from both guys. Had their working shoes on. Well, I don't think Gunther has any other kind of shoes except working shoes, but in a way I almost felt a little sad for them, because when I found out that was going to be the next match, I said, that's going to follow the War Games match? Oh my God. Oh. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, this was a damn good match. Miz wound up working on Gunther's one leg throughout the entire course of the match, and he was putting on a hell of a fight, man. Now, it was obvious that it was going to be one-sided in a matter of speaking of Gunther being the big man, being the powerhouse and all. But Miz, that dirty underhanded player he is, he used some dirty tricks, I tell you. At one point, got thrown into the corner, yanked the turnbuckle pad off, and while the ref's going and tending to that, Miz, boom, low blow, doesn't all the way get the mule kick, and then looking right at him, boom, kicks him right in the nuts, skull crushing finale, 1, 2, no, and a kick out. Oh man, that one had me. That one had me, and I was like, oh, did we? No, we didn't get it. Okay. But match came to an end. Gunther got the win doing a splash and then a Boston Crab. And it was just like, ooh, yeah. So, your winner and still Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. Really good match. Really dug it. Next up was Santos Escobar going against Dragon Lee. And I say Dragon Lee because the Friday night on SmackDown before the show, Carlito, he got attacked by Santos. So Nick Aldis, he called an audible. He said he can't compete. Dragon Lee said, no. Santos needs to answer for what he did. I want to fill in for him. Let me have that spot. Nick Aldis looked at him. You're sure you're up for it? I'm sure I'm up for it. All right. You're sure you're up for it? Yes, I'm sure I'm up for it. All right. It's yours. You got the spot. You're on. Go out there and show me. Show me what you got. And good Lord Almighty, Dragon Lee, he did not disappoint. Santos, he was leading at the start of the match. Lee wound up leading the second half of the match, but man, oh man, did this hit. Now, I'm not saying this was anywhere near like Lucha Ground quality action or something that you would see in any other place, but or like in AAA or CMLL. But as far as WWE-esque Lucha action, man, this was good. This was the good shit. You know? I dug it. I absolutely loved it. Santos got the win doing a destroyer, doing a Canadian destroyer. Oh, they now call it a south of the border destroyer. And then doing the Phantom Driver, got the 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. So your winner, Santos Escobar. Next up, we had women's action. Zoey Stark going against Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Okay. Good God. Good God Almighty. Rhea in that outfit. Wow. Wow. That's all I'm going to leave that at because, you know, want to keep this somewhat clean for potential sponsors down the road. So, with that said, yeah. Zoey Zoey starts off hot right at the gate, firing on all cylinders, trying to take Rhea down quick. Rhea wound up leading the pace after the initial beginning, and then was just dominating after that, and it was just like, yeah, she just mauling that girl. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Almost felt like that Simpsons meme at one point, like, stop it, she's already dead. But, yeah. I mean, I give Zoey credit and I give her flowers. She did put up a hell of a fight, you know, and Zoey has shown that she can go. So, it's just a matter of when they decide to say that belt is coming off of Rhea. That's when it's going to be Zoey's time to show she's championship material. Until then, no. Honestly, yeah, keep it on Rhea. Till then. So, anyways, as far as the match went, really good. I dug it. Match came to an end when Rhea, she went to go. She countered Zoey going for the Z360. Then wound up, boom, popping a riptide on her. 1, 2, 3. So, yeah. Now we come to the men's War Games. Drew McIntyre and Judgment Day, which was Damian Priest, Finn Balor, JD McDonagh, and Dominik Mysterio, going against Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin' damn it, and Randy Orton, question mark, because they said at the beginning of the show, Randy's not here yet. And then, right before the match started, when everyone was when Team Cody was in the locker room, hyping up, getting ready to go. Guys, just checked. Randy's not here yet. And Seth looking at Cody. The hell, man? Listen, he'll be here. Listen, we gotta go. We gotta go to war now. So come on. He'll be here. Don't worry. So Finn and Seth start out the match. It was really good. Nice action with both guys. JD McDonagh came in next, and then they started, JD brought in some weapons, they started hitting Seth's back, then Jay came in, and then Priest came in because, well, before Priest went in, when it was Priest's turn, they opened up the cage. Drew was about to walk out because Jay came in there. Jay went in before him. Priest, we talked about this. We stick to the game plan. And then he walked out, made sure the gate closed, and then went over. So I dug that, you know, you show a small little bit of hostility, but the, you know, in that sense. So then Sami was in, then Drew came in, then Cody was in, and then Dom was in. And then once Dominik came in, that's when the commentators started going off on, where's Randy? Where's Randy? Where's Randy? Oh, this is going to be horrible because the Judgment Day have the advantage, this, that, and the other. And then when it was time for Randy, the cameras pan over, the refs are like, and then Judgment Day's all laughing, like, while the faces are all down, like, ha, 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 nobody's there. And then you just see Damian point out to the camera. And then you see Rhea Ripley running down with the Money in the Bank briefcase, looking to go and do a cash-in. Cash in at any time, that's what the rules say. So there's nothing saying can't cash in the middle of a War Games match. And then, just as they're about to, I hear voices in my head, you hear Randy's music. The crowd goes bananas, as Pat Patterson would have said. And then you just see Randy come out and like, holy shit. And Randy, good God almighty. Randy, good God, man. Randy got double fusion back surgery, and all I could think is, Randy got that fucking cut on that kind of surgery? Dude, listen, I've been dealing with some back issues for years now. Sign me up for that if I get that ripped. Good God. Wow. But yeah, Randy came in, he got in, closed the door behind him, the War Games began, and it did not look like he missed a beat. You know, for being on the shelf pretty much for like 2 years, Randy did not miss a beat, man. He was moving just as smooth as he ever did. You know, like on how if you're as old as me and grew up seeing Ricky Steamboat stuff, you see on how Ricky always clapped his hands before doing an arm drag. You see Randy Orton do that, and it's like, boom, power slam. Boom, power slam. Boom, power slam. Like, he did not miss one. I keep saying it, but it's true. Randy was moving like he didn't miss a beat, and just like, wow. Wow. Like, man, and that's why I swear, man, the day Randy Orton hangs his boots up, it is going to be a sad, sad day for all wrestling fans. And there's no denying that. So, but great match, great main event. And not only that, it was just so surreal to have Cody finally getting to go and do a War Games match. He was originally supposed to be in the first AEW Blood and Guts match, where it was supposed to be the Elite versus Chris Jericho's Inner Circle Jerks. And then, wouldn't you know it, COVID came and decided to screw everything up. So, yeah. But match came to an end when JD McDonagh was trying to get away from all the faces, was climbing up. Seth and Sami stopped him. They had him sitting on top of the cage, and Randy just looking like, and then they threw him, and then Randy just in midair catches him, wham, pops him with an RKO. And then Randy, he gets up, grabs Damian Priest, hands him to Cody and says, finish us now. And then Cody Boom. Pops Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. That is it. Your winners. Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton. And as they're all in the midst of celebrating, then we hear a Cult of Personality. And CM Punk comes out and just... Again, I didn't think that was the right time. Especially given that it was Randy's big return night, man. I just thought it was... Excuse me. I thought that was a little too much, you know? I will say this, though. It was interesting on the Aftermath because they showed tons of fan footage of Seth screaming and yelling, "Get him the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here." And Michael Cole and Corey Graves and such holding Seth back. And Seth yelling at them, "Get security to get him the fuck out of here." This, that, and the other, and all that jazz. So, are they building... So, if they're building towards Seth versus Punk for the world title at WrestleMania, I could see it. If not there, Royal Rumble soonest, but WrestleMania latest, my guess. So, with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. So please, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also, I'm on Threads as well as Blue Sky as well, Tim Vicious. I swear I'm trying to be as active as I am on there as I am on other ones, but I will always respond if you say something to me. Thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide some music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good night. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, LFC is on Tubi, so it costs $0 to help support them. But if you do want to throw out some dollars, it is the holiday season. Get yourself a Vicious Ranch shirt for somebody that you love or somebody that you hate. We also got unisex shirts, women's shirts, tanks, toddler shirts, onesies, hoodies. It's cold out, so get a hoodie to warm yourself up. And folks, don't forget to check out these cool ass guys right on the Twitter. DSP_IV. Main Event _net. That is the main Twitter account for the Main Event Wrestling Network. Sergeant Curry Pants. 3 Count Thursday. And D Dryer 1986. And folks, like I always tell you, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.